All right, so hello. I wanted to. All right, so basically, I wanted to make a video talking about how I've been making money being self-employed online. Now, when I explain everything, I will also mention that I do have a work from home job as well. However, I'm just going to have to explain that because it's kind of not what you think. However, other than that, I also have multiple side hustles and I'm self employed doing a lot of things. I've started my journey of being fully self employed in February of 2023. I mean, I've done on and off some self-employed type of things throughout the years, and I could make another video talking about that. But basically this year in February I was completely self-employed. Now it's March, and let's just talk about it. Let's honestly talk about it, because I have struggled with making money online for so many years, and I'm not in a place where I'm just balling. I'm not in a place where I'm just making crazy money, but I do make anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a month, just kind of like on my own. And it isn't something that I had to build up. It isn't something that I had to work on for like months at a time to finally get to a place where, I'm able to make money. These are things that I just kind of like quit a job and just like took a leap of faith and just decided to, see what I can do online. And I don't know what went right this time, but I've been doing pretty decent. I told myself if things don't work out, I can just kind of go back and get another job or whatever. Things have been going pretty smooth and I've been really happy about it. So I really just kind of wanted to make a video talking about it and really just maybe enlighten anybody who wants to do this, anybody who has struggled making money online. And maybe I'm not saying that this is going to be the thing that helps you to really finally make money, but for someone who has struggled for years to make money online, this is what I'm finally doing, and just on a whim. So let's start the video. So the first thing that I ended up doing was, I randomly created a Fiverr account and I posted a bunch of gigs. I posted just as many gigs as I could, and they were kind of writing job kind of gigs. They were kind of just like in that realm. And I just felt like, I need to go on a freelance type of website, like, either Upwork or Fiverr or something like that. I need to kind of start there. I need to get freelance work, like, because I'm just like, I wouldn't mind being a freelancer and, whatever. And so something very incredible happened to me, and I don't expect, I would say maybe try this, but don't expect to get the same results I did, because basically literally the next day or maybe 2 days after I created these Fiverr gigs, I just got a random message to my inbox of someone who was willing to hire me for something that had nothing to do with my Fiverr gigs. To this day, I don't think I ever gotten any actual Fiverr gigs, but I have gotten messages, which is very interesting. Like, I've gotten messages for Fiverr, but I haven't gotten hired on Fiverr, which is whatever. But yeah, they just kind of messaged me and they were just like, we're hiring. I'm not going to go into too much details, but they were like, something to do with social media, something to do with Instagram. Like I said, I don't want to go into too much details because I don't want to reveal who they are, what they're doing, but they're just like, we're looking for someone who is willing to, manage this Instagram, blah, 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 blah. This is how much we'll pay you. And then there's basically opportunities to make more money, as you go. So I was like, cool, bet. That was like $250 per month, just for that little thing. But listen, I know it sounds like not that much, okay? But the thing that's important that you must understand, and the way I think is, I'd never refuse an opportunity. I operate on multiple forms of income, and yeah, something here and there adds up. So that was kind of the base of me being, you know, my multiple forms of income and me being self-employed and just me, you know, making money, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of the baseline. It's just that $250 per month. I make that every month to PayPal. They send it to my PayPal. Boom. That was kind of the baseline of that. Now, this is something that came a little bit after, but this is the same people who hired me originally. They were like, we have another opportunity to do this TikTok thing. So now I'm getting paid an extra $200 on top of that $250. So that's about $450 per month guaranteed that I'm making, like, with this one side hustle. And it's just like very easy stuff. Posting on Instagram and TikTok does not take longer than 10 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? So a pretty good gig, honestly. So I know how I talked about, so this is number 2 or whatever. I know how I talked about how I do have an online job. So I kind of want to speak on that right now. So basically, long story short is I have an online job that I started back in August of 2022. And once again, I don't want to reveal the company's name or anything about the company, but basically, long story short, all of a sudden, you know, work was finished in November. Nobody knew this. Me as a new hire, nobody informed me that they would just stop giving us work, but they stopped giving us work. And so November and December, it was rough because I was not making any money. I was basically unemployed, trying to find another job. Then I ended up getting another job in January, but that job was really miserable for me, and I ended up quitting that job, and that's another video. But so I kind of have this relationship with this job where then, like, this year, they just started contacting me randomly, like, you still want to work? We have work for the weekend. Da, 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 da. I was like, yeah, I'll work for the weekend. Boom. Made a little money, and then that was it. You know what I'm saying? The next month, they're like, we got work for the weekend. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Now they contacted me and said, we have work for a while, like for a month or 2. I don't even know how long it's going to be. So I was just kind of like, cool, yeah, I'll do it. So what you get what I'm trying, you get where I'm going here, you know what I'm saying? It's a job, but it's not a reliable job. You know what I'm saying? It's not a regular, reliable job where you know you're going to get constant work all year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know what this job is about now that I've seen their true colors. I realize that it's cool to have this job. It's cool to have it almost as a side job, but it's never going to be this thing that I really depend on because they've shown me that I can't depend on this job. However, you know, anytime they want to call and say we have work, then I'll, you know, if I'm available, you know, like I'll do work. I'll do the work to get the extra money. So I never had a job like this, and at first I hated it and I was just like, what the heck? But once I got the hang of things and I became self-employed, and I kind of look at this job as just like a extra form of income. You know, if I have the job, it's extra money. If I don't have it, I'm still good. I'm still able to make it. That's the way I look at this job. That's the way it is. That's the way it has to be. So that's kind of what's going on now. It may not be something that's going to be a thing all year, but whenever we do have work, I just take the opportunity. Once again, the rules are I don't refuse an opportunity unless it just doesn't, like, the only time I refuse an opportunity is if it takes too much of my time away and it's really not worth it. Like this job in particular, it's an actual job. It's an 8-hour job. It's work from home. It's super flexible. I love this job, actually. The best that I can love a job, you know? Because it's still just not necessarily just something I really love doing. But if I am going to work a job, I actually kind of like this job. But, you know, like, what I mean by I'll refuse an opportunity if it's like a job that's not paying that much, or it's a side hustle that requires too much of my time and energy, because I already have so many multiple forms of income. I already have so many things that I'm doing, and I already have like too much on my plate, actually. So yeah, the next thing, so those are probably like my 2 main things to some degree. So I'm going to kind of get into like trickle down into other things, basically. So the next thing I want to get into is focus groups. So focus groups is so like underrated in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people don't take advantage of focus groups, and honestly, to some degree, I just want to say fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want it to be oversaturated anyway, to some degree. I mean, it's okay for some new people to do it because I can't qualify for everything, but ever since I joined the focus group life, it's been pretty good. Focus groups, they'll pay you anywhere from maybe like $50 to $100 to $100-something to 200 to 300. You know, some it can go up to like hundreds of dollars. It can go up to $1,000. Usually it's just on average anywhere between $50 to like maybe $300 on average for what I have seen for the most part. But sometimes it can go wild, you know, it can go crazier than that, or it can be less than that. I've seen focus groups as small as $10, but those are the average. And I'm not going to go into too much details about what focus groups are. If you're interested in doing focus groups, I suggest you do your own research because I don't want this video to be long. But, you know, all I will say is I have been making a pretty steady, you know, side hustle income with focus groups per month. The best websites that I have had the best success with is focusgroup.com, which is also like Schlesinger, but they've changed it to something else. But it's basically focusgroup.com, I believe. Another one is User Interviews. So yeah, those are the two where I've had the best success with. I've done 2 focus groups on both of those websites so far. I have friends, like I have a friend who, I know a few people who do focus groups, and I have a friend that makes $4,000 a month just doing focus groups, somewhere roughly around that. That's their full-time job, just doing focus groups, and they can pull in like around $4,000 a month. I wish I knew how to do that, honestly. Like, what am I doing? So I would love to be on the path to figuring out how to do that. But for now, I do make a little something extra doing focus groups. I make a couple $100 per month. So that adds to the list. The next thing is, this kind of focus groups as well. An app called Dscout. So in my opinion, Dscout is basically focus groups, kind of, sort of. Not really, but like you kind of do these missions and you answer questions, and sometimes you'll record a video, but it's not like focus groups in the sense of like you're being interviewed by someone. You have to schedule a meeting with someone, either through Zoom or through in person or something like that. You really just get accepted for something. You have a few days to finish the mission, and you just answer a bunch of questions. That's what Dscout is, but I almost kind of put it in the same category as focus groups because, once again, it's pretty good money. It's pretty, like I just had 3 missions this week. That was like an $80 mission, a $40 mission, I think like a $30 mission, something like that. So yeah, and once again with focus groups, yeah, you either do in-person ones or online. I did one in person. I went to this Walmart across town. It wasn't like across town, but it was kind of like the next town. You know, really nice neighborhood, really nice Walmart. I've never seen a Walmart like that before. It had a parking garage and stuff. But it was like, a lot of times focus groups are really fun. That one was about makeup. All I had to do was like talk about makeup and like different like products. They just asked me questions. And I've done one about gaming. Am I a gamer? Honestly, no. To be quite honest with you, do I not have enough knowledge to where I can, you know, talk for an hour or 2 about it? Yeah. However, it's also amazing that usually in focus groups, there's other people involved. So a lot of times I don't have to talk very much for the 2 hours. I can just they just want you to butt in every once in a while, make sure that, you know, everybody gets to speak. But that's another thing I love. It's not just a one-on-one thing. So yeah. Okay. Next thing I want to get into, other random websites to take advantage of. User testing. All you gotta do is test websites, answer questions. If you know, you know. Once again, I'm not gonna get into the full details about what these things are. You can do your own research if you are interested, but user testing is basically like I said, a website where you just fill out screeners, see what you get approved for, and you just, a lot of times they'll record your screen on your computer or your phone. You can also do it on your phone, and they'll ask you questions about, or they'll show some type of prototype of a website or something like that. And yeah, they just want your opinions. It could take a few minutes. At most, it's taken me maybe 30 minutes, but that's rare. It usually, honestly, on average, takes me a couple minutes, like maybe 2 to 5 minutes on average. And every user testing test that you complete is $10. Now, sometimes it's $4. Once again, it's rare for $4, but, and then also, they also have opportunities to do a $30 test. I mean, a $30 live thing, or a $60 one, or I think even a $90 one. I don't know about that one, but $30 and $60, they have opportunities for that as well. Once again, that's almost kind of like a focus group kind of thing as well, because they'll schedule this thing to talk with somebody, and you will be talking to someone one-on-one through a webcam basically, and they'll ask you questions about, like, usually about some, once again, about some type of prototype that they're doing or whatever. And that's also a cool extra $30 to $60. Those are rare to get, but I've gotten them in the past, and they're pretty cool. I usually kind of have anxiety building up to doing them, but as long as you know that you can qualify for it, like, there's really nothing honestly to be nervous about. So yeah. Okay, the next thing I want to get into is Prolific. So I finally have gotten I finally got off the wait list of Prolific, and I also finally got approved. So with Prolific, I've heard amazing things about this website, and you know, just for people who just want to have an extra side hustle, right? But for a long time, for years, I just never did it for whatever reason. So for the average person to apply to this website, you know what I'm saying, it's not like a regular like survey website. It's like doing surveys basically, but it's not like doing surveys, and I'll explain why. Most regular survey websites, you can just sign up and start today. This one has a wait list. So if something has a wait list, chances are it's pretty good. It's worth it. You know, it's something to do, you know what I'm saying? So I was on a wait list, and then the first time, which was a different email, honestly, like, I got approved from the wait list. I was like, yes. Then the next thing they want you to do is to take a picture of your ID and take a picture of your face. So once again, adds legitimacy, because it's like, this must be pretty dang good if they're asking this much of me. And the first time, out of nowhere, I was not accepted. And I think the reason why is because I had a picture on my computer, and I took a picture of that instead of just taking a picture of the actual ID. So they were like, you haven't been approved, and you're not, you know, you're like banned for life or whatever. I'm just like, okay. So somehow on a different email, I got approved from the wait list again. So I was like, okay, so let me just try to apply again, and maybe this time just actually take a picture of my ID. Did that, and I got approved for Prolific. So I've finally been doing it for about like a few weeks now, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, it's been about maybe like a week and a half at this point, and I've already made like $50 in about a week and a half on Prolific. Once again, you know, I don't spend a lot of time on some of these things. I could be making more money on some of these things than, like, if I really just treated these things like a full-time income and really sat at my computer. But sometimes I'm busy throughout the day. Sometimes I'm doing things. I have a family. I have other things to worry about. I have other things to do. So I just get on when I get on. If I see opportunities to make some money, whatever. With Prolific, it's more so like studies. These are like college type of studies or whatever. And they range anywhere from 1 minute to like 20 minutes, 40 minutes even. I usually do the lower ones that are like maybe 10 minutes or less. Once again, because of time, I don't have much time to just sit here and do these things. But the pay is like, you know, it varies. Like, you can do a 1 minute test and get like 16 cents. You could do a 5 minute one and get like $5 or $3. Or you can do one for like 3 minutes, and it can be $5. It varies a lot, but I think it's really well worth your time to some degree. Then they have it where it's like pending and then approved. So some of them just automatically get approved. Some of them are pending for a while. I had one that was $5. It was pending for a while. It was pending for like days, but then they eventually approved it. They eventually approved all of my submissions, so that's great. And then the last thing about Prolific is, so basically you, they pay through PayPal, but you have to request, you know what I'm saying? So basically they pay on Tuesdays and Fridays, and so you have to make sure you transfer the money before Tuesday or Friday. And then the first 4 transfers are that, you know, doing it like that, and then I believe after that you can just transfer and it'll just instantly hit your PayPal. So I'm actually excited to do that. I'm on my 3rd transfer, so hopefully after my last transfer, which will be next Tuesday, I will finally get approved to do instant payouts. Then I'm just gonna just really be out here like whatever. So yeah. And the last thing I kind of want to speak on is trading. So trading has the potential of just taking over if possible, like day trading, like options trading. You know, that has the potential of just taking over if I actually am good at it. And I believe I am good at it because on my demo account, I do pretty good. But then on my real account, it seems to not translate. I've actually blown my account a couple of times, and I'm just trying to figure out what is going wrong. Like, I'm just kind of like in a place where trading is not really profitable for me right now. If it was, best believe, once again, that could be something that makes a lot of money for me. But for now, I'm still in a process where I just haven't become profitable yet. So I'm willing to keep going. I'm willing to try, but that's going to be a work in progress for now. So I like to hope that someday in the future, near future, sometime this year, even I can become a profitable trader. But once again, we will see. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And this video is already honestly pretty long. I don't want it to be any longer than this, but that's pretty much, you know, that's pretty much the gist of everything. You know, I'm getting my tax, and then sometimes I get random stuff, like I'm getting my tax return, so it's not a constant income. But what else? I mean, I'm thinking about starting a Patreon with my Sims thing, because I also make Sims videos. And, you know, like, that's kind of just a potential income. That's something that's not making me money right now, but that's kind of more of a potential income, is like a Patreon. Then I also have a podcast with my friend that could potentially be an income. So I'm thinking about doing a TikTok account, and then also I'm wanting to post on this channel. So, I mean, there are other things I also want to do as far as social media to be potential income, but those things are potential. Those things are not paying me right now. You know, this video is basically me talking about what is paying me right now, and that's basically what it is. So I guess I'm just gonna have to leave you guys here. If there's any questions or anything, you can always let me know. And I am always on the lookout for more opportunities to add, you know, side hustles. If anybody has any ideas for more side hustles that you can start immediately, pretty much, and something that's actually pretty worth it and pays pretty decent, I would love to see what it is. You know, we can all share with amongst each other or whatever. But other than that, hopefully this video may have given you guys some ideas, and I'm just gonna leave you there. So see you in my next video.